Skincare is not one size fits all. At Image, we rely on skincare professionals and clinically proven ingredients to create solutions that adapt to your lifestyle. But don't take it from us. Just ask the 30,000 plus professionals in over 60 countries across the globe who trust Image Skincare to deliver when it comes to results. And while we got our start with skincare pros, we think it's about time you got to know us better too. Tune into Skinfluence to hear straight from industry professionals on how to keep your skin healthy, radiant, and resilient through every stage of your vibrant life.
Hello, and welcome back, skincare aficionados, to Skinfluence, a podcast where we chat all things skin. I am Jacquelyn Hill, and with me today is my co-host, Janna Ronert. Hi, Janna.
Hello, Jacquelyn.
We're at it again.
We certainly are, and a topic that I love, which is technology.
I love it. So I know in our world we're sometimes high touch and then sometimes high tech, and I think the technology we're going to talk about today really is going to allow us to blend them both, so it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
All right, so as we kind of popped up, we are going to be talking about how to amp up your treatment room technologies with an insider scoop from the president and CEO of BIO-THERAPEUTIC, David Suzuki. So let me tell you guys a little bit about David. David has been an active and licensed member of the medical aesthetic industry for over 35 years. He is a leading authority and expert on medical aesthetic device manufacturing and regulatory matters. He serves as an advisor to institutions and state boards with guidance on FDA and other governing regulatory organizations. David's commitment to manufacturing cutting-edge technology and skincare products, along with his extensive experience and knowledge in research and development, has greatly contributed to the upward growth and success of BIO-THERAPEUTIC. So with all of that information, we want to say hi to David. Welcome, David.
Welcome to you as well. Thank you for having me.
We are so excited to have you here today and to really chat everything about devices because that's your world. That's where you're the expert at.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So do you want to tell us a little brief history about BIO-THERAPEUTIC? Yeah,
you bet. We are a second generation family owned company. We're based right here in Seattle. We started in 1974, so quite some time ago. We focus in on age management technology. We are a FDA medical device manufacturer. We are ISO 9001, ISO 13485, which sound really technical. It just means that we meet the highest quality standards for medical device manufacturing recognized worldwide. We began our journey back in the 70s with microcurrent. That was the first technology that we engineered, that we brought to market, that we patented. And we've now evolved as a company to over 6 different disciplines of age management technology that we bring to skincare professionals around the world, as well as now consumers.
I love that word, age management. You know, at Image, our tagline is age later. So maybe talk to the viewers a little bit about how do you combine skincare with technology, and why is that one of the most innovative ways to, I guess, manage your age?
Well, I love the term age later as well. So that's a fantastic tagline. Yeah. Well, I like the idea, and always have, of course, because we're from technology, of just maximizing everything that the human body is capable of. And all the technology that we manufacture just really works on that platform, that real cellular platform. And I think anything that you can combine both in the professional service room with great skincare products, and then also at home for the at-home regimen, and send some of that great handheld technology that we manufacture home with an individual, really helps to expedite the process of what we're trying to achieve as skin therapists.
That's super cool. I mean, you hear so much in the industry today, microcurrent, at home, in clinic. What is microcurrent, and what's the difference between an at-home unit and something that's truly professional?
Well, that's a good point, and that's a really, really deep subject, but I'll give you a quick
We'll do microcurrent
summary.
for dummies. Right. Just do microcurrent for dummies. What is it?
Okay.
Does it hurt?
All right, well, let's
What
start.
is it?
It doesn't hurt. It's basically subsensory. It's a super low level of energy that we put onto the surface of the skin. It's so low that it will not cause a contraction of the muscle or a twitching of the muscle. It really works, again, on the cellular level. And just to kind of digress into that cellular activity that we're really after is that there's one common fuel that is the single fuel that powers the whole human body, including everything that we're after with regards to age management, and that is adenosine triphosphate, and that's made in the mitochondria. So really the beauty of microcurrent is that we have these great patented sequences of frequencies that we're able to actually energize that mitochondria. And then once we are able to energize that, we can increase its adenosine triphosphate, that single energy, by up to 500%. So this new level of cellular energy, what it does is it just helps to improve everything that the body's already beautifully designed to do, but that also includes new collagen production, new elastin production, blood circulation, and everything else that happens on a cellular level that just helps to make our skin look and feel so beautiful. Then the second part of microcurrent that I think is just really amazing, and this is probably a big portion of the wow effect that we've always heard about microcurrent, is the sculpting and the lifting. So that's really a different process that we use kinesiology technique. So we actually physically move the muscles into generally a shorter position, similar to how they were when we were younger. And then this big, massive uptick of cellular energy gives the muscles that endurance to stay in that new position for a longer period of time. So when we think about kinesiology, it's really similar. It's really the same thing as we do in massage therapy. And you know how we can go to a really relaxing massage and 30, 45 minutes later, all of a sudden we have this great range of motion and movement. Well, the muscles are super reactive, of course, to physical kinesiology, and that's what we do to the face. And through a process of different movements, we're just able to do this amazing sculpting and lifting that you can see right away.
So if somebody was doing this kind of lifting, sculpting, tightening, toning of their skin with their professional, how often do they come in and have something like that done? Or do you recommend as the manufacturer? And then do they supplement it then at home?
Yeah, and that's a good question. So for the services to come in, you can do a one-off fun service. And so it's that way that you can get such a great result just off one service if it's a special event or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
really
one.
good for
Yeah,
that.
I like a facelift for the night.
I do too. Or day. Yeah, I'm all for that.
I do too as well. But then at the same time, for a more comprehensive result, just kind of like working out, a lot of times it's better to do it in a series. So let's say, just as an example, a person that might be 36, 38, maybe they have 2 to 4 services over the course of, let's say, a couple weeks. And if you are more my age, in the mid-50s range kind of a thing, maybe it's going to be 6 to 8 services over the course of, let's say, 4 weeks to hit your dominant objective. And then after that, maintenance would happen about once every 6 to 8 weeks. So again, I think you can look at it a little bit like fitness. If you can do it once, it's awesome and it's amazing. If you can do it, a couple times a week, it's even better. And if you could do it a little bit more compounded, it just basically helps to expedite the results that you're after.
So this current, when you talk about waking up the skin, so this current kind of goes deep into the skin. It wakes it up to produce more collagen and elastin, which I guess means that you have fewer wrinkles and your skin is tighter. Is that what microcurrent can achieve?
Yeah, that's a big portion of it. And so again, I think you're right on in that we have these specific and patented sequencing frequencies that are able to energize that mitochondria. That's what we call the root mechanism of action, and that cellular energy then feeds the collagen production and the elastin production. That helps to make the skin more luminous. It makes it fuller. It helps to diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and just makes it so much better from a visual appearance and a color standpoint. So it really does all that through that uptick of cellular energy.
Well, I would think that everybody would want to go in and ask their professional, I want a microcurrent treatment, right?
Absolutely. I want to.
I want to. Can you use this microcurrent on your body, or is it only designed for the face?
Same thing.
You can. It's, microcurrent, one of the things that we've done as a medical device manufacturers, we also work with sports injury and wellness and all other different sorts of more medical applications. And so it's wonderful because cellular energy is cellular energy. If you can create more of it, it just helps the overall wellness of the human body, the healing properties, the regeneration properties. It just really expedites everything that we do as humans. So yeah, it's a wonderful technology. I really think it's not only one of the oldest technologies that we created and patented, but I think it's still got the most potential and just scratches the surface, so to speak. So we're really more excited about it now than we've ever been.
All right. Well, I had a quick question because I love this microcurrent, and it sounds like it's one of your more popular technologies. How is this different from your ultrasonic technology that you have?
That's a great question.
Well, that is a good question. So ultrasonic, we have two different kinds of ultrasonic technology. One of them is for our ultrasonic cleansing brush that works with a silicone brush head. That's amazing because it works at about 24,000 vibrations per second, and it just really helps to clean the skin 6 to 10 times better than the hands itself. So it just really does this amazing rudimentary job of being able to cleanse the skin. And then we have our BT Micro, which is our exfoliation, our ultrasonic exfoliation technology that a lot of people will refer to kind of as a skin scrubber or whatnot in some of the mainstream marketing. And that essentially works out over 32,000 vibrations per second. And that's really amazing to use with an exfoliation product or whatnot to help remove the stratum corneum, which is, of course, non-living. And it's the first step in the process of really preparing the skin. And when we can do some amazing extractions, you probably have seen some of those great videos of extractions that are almost unbelievable, right? And then it's also really great for our product applications afterwards. So I really like using both of those tools before microcurrent to prepare it. And if I'm using those at home, me personally, I use both of them every night at home, to basically cleanse the skin and, of course, keep my skin uncongested and clear and well exfoliated.
So these you are combining with your good skincare products at home then?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it allows you to get so much more value out of great skincare products because, as we know, the stratum corneum, again, is non-living, and it's also a net, almost like a filter for the skin. So all the products that we put onto the skin, if we don't exfoliate well, a lot of it, a high percentage of it is just being caught up in the stratum corneum. So the more that we can help to expedite that removal and that exfoliation process, the better that those key ingredients that we work so hard to capture can really do justice to the skin.
I love that. So basically, kind of you think of the skin as a house, kind of this brush and this pre-exfoliator helps take the roof off.
Yeah.
And then we put our great products on, and then you kind of blast it with this incredible microcurrent, and amazing things should start to happen, right? Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's a good analogy.
Well, there's a lot of kind of dummies out there for skincare, and I'm kind of learning about this too. So what would a microcurrent, if a viewer asked for this treatment in a spa or a medical office, kind of give us what's going to come out of our pocket?
So from a cost standpoint, I guess it depends geographically where you're at, but I think it's usually about 20 to 25% more than potentially a standard facial, depending on what that includes. So I definitely think
$150, maybe $150, $175, but to do all of this sounds pretty minimal to get a facelift.
To get a facelift.
Right?
Yeah, well, and this is the thing that I really believe in. And a lot of times people will think because we're from what we would consider a very organic technology background, and that we work at a cellular level, that we would be anti-injectables or anti-surgery, and we're not. We just think that those are all spokes in the wheel that everybody probably will venture into if they're concerned about their aesthetic appearance. And we just think that by really maintaining the foundation, again, maybe using the analogy of the house, making sure that the the foundation is totally solid, that we can really build off of that. So these are things from a cellular level that I think are important to always do, regardless of what you may graduate to later on.
No, I think that's great. And I think at Skinfluenced, our goal for this podcast is to give, our listeners all the information of what is possible, because there's a huge menu. There's a big buffet, and this is just one part that you want to choose from.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like the dessert. You want that chocolate pie at that buffet, or I do anyway.
I always want the chocolate pie.
But the microcurrent, when you shake things up, is there any damage that can be done to the skin? Do you worry about people not being trained, or how would you go about asking specifically for biotherapeutic?
Well, I think that it's important to really have a good skincare practitioner who's been through our manufacturer courses. I think that's really, really important to make sure that you're going to get the results and that you're going to have, the right technology and the right applications and everything else. So I think that's a great way to look for services in the field as a consumer, is that, do you have biotherapeutic, or have you gone through the manufacturer courses and all that sort of a thing. So I think that would definitely be a great way to pre-qualify.
What do you think is on the horizon for technology in the future? I mean, you can't give all your secrets away, but I'm curious, what do you think, is the future of some technology?
That's a good question. There are so many different pathways of technology. We have wet-dry microdermabrasion, which is amazing.
Oh, nice. What is that?
Works. It's
what
kind
is
of,
that?
I know,
What
wait,
is wet
stop
dry?
there.
Stop. What is that? What is wet dry microdermabrasion?
Well, it's really the next generation in microdermabrasion, and essentially it's just what it sounds like. We use different products, whether they're brightening and lightening, whether they're exfoliation products and things like that on the surface of the skin. Well, we're using our diamond encrusted tip with light aspiration, and we're doing a very assertive exfoliation, but at the same time, it just does amazing things to the skin for the texture, the tightening and the luminosity of the skin is just amazing. It's one of those kind of services that after you're finished, you just feel like you want to go out. Not one of those type of services where you feel like, wow, I need to recover for 3 days before I go out. I want to go out and show that. And and so it's really, it's great from a results standpoint. It's super psychologically satisfying. I manufacture and design these, and I love that service. I love all the services, but I love that service, and it really, regardless of the science that's behind it, which is fantastic as well. But again, the result is so satisfying that it's just exciting for just about all personality types, all skin types or whatnot. We have our VT Titan that we call micro exfoliation. That's really similar looking to micro needling, except we use these medical grade silicone pyramids, and we work that over the surface of the skin, and that just does wonders again on the luminosity and the reduction of pore sizes, the fine lines and wrinkles. It really is a great technology. That's one of my newest favorites that we have within the family. Yeah, and those all pair well with microcurrent as well. So we're really big on everything that's biotherapeutic is really amazing by itself, but they all pair well together. And when you mix them together, you can get some of the most amazing layered technology services that I think are available on the market today.
I love it, Jen. It's like a technology skincare diet. Like we put all the ingredients together for the skincare diet. This is like technology skincare diet.
It sure is. And I think that's the wave of where, great skincare is going, is the combination of all of these tools and technology blended with the foundation of great skincare. I mean, that's something that you can't change, right?
Yeah, I love it. And I love it. Sounds like, David, like everything that you guys do and create works with the body. It seems non-invasive and no downtime. I want to get up from the bed and look beautiful and glowing. So I love this. And I need to go on and schedule a bunch of treatments now.
Yeah. Well, I think we do what we do because we love it so much ourselves, and we just want to share it with the world. So I think that passion does well.
Yeah, I do too. And then this brush that you talked about, this, brush that's really exfoliating the skin. Is that for retail use or only professional?
That actually is for both. It's a retail
nice.
product that you can find on retail shelves that are available for your professionals. Professionals do love it as well, though, I will say.
I love it.
It's
I
common.
love brushes.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it to
common
prep
to
the
use it in
skin. I love to use a brush before a peel, a facial, microdermabrasion. I just think, again, to exfoliate that skin just creates a more luminous, glowing after peel, after treatment. I love brushes. I'm huge fans of them.
Well, now that brought up a question in my head because you guys are like the leaders in really manufacturing these devices. So if somebody just went on Amazon and tried to find a brush or tried to find like ultrasonic technology, what's the difference between, a company like yours and then something I could buy probably maybe for $10 off of Amazon?
Wow, that's such a huge, huge subject in itself. But, a couple things that I would say is that when you're looking for technology, the same with product, regardless of where you get it from and whatnot, I think you just really want to look a few layers in, at least, if not more, just to see who it is that you're buying it from, the history of the company and those kinds of things. Because people, I'm sure, ask you guys that all the time is, what's the difference between your skincare product and what I can buy, at a department store or whatnot. And so I think it really comes down to basically the quality of it, number one, the testing and the efficacy. That's one thing when you buy biotherapeutic, that it's all tested, that it's safe, and that it's going to perform to the standard that it's been approved to be brought to market for. I think those are really important. I also think that just understanding the history of where we come from as a technology manufacturer, and we are the premier supplier for professionals around the world. We certainly do an amazing job with the consumer technology as well. And then I also think maybe just from a very basic standpoint, just the passion that I have as a skin therapist, because as a skin therapist, but also just as an aging human, I want to create the best products and the best technology that I can find to basically use on myself, to be quite honest with you, on my family, on my friends, and to be able to share that with the world. And I think that's so much different than some of the things that you see in department stores and some of the things that you see on some of the different websites and whatnot that are marketed well potentially, but at the same time they just don't have that story, and you have a hard time understanding what the background is or where it comes from or why they even actually brought that to market, kind of a thing. So I think those are just a few key things that I would suggest looking for.
No, I think that's great, and I think that's why we were so excited to have you on this podcast today, because people trust your company, and kind of like they trust Image Skincare, and it's just been a really good partnership to learn about your company, for our listeners to learn more about what is available. And it comes down to trust.
Absolutely.
You have to trust
and
the company and passion.
Oh,
and when you have passion, trust, and the credentials behind it, it's a winning combination. So I know I've learned a lot today. I don't know, Jacquelyn, you always think, gosh, you feel like you're on the leading edge, but then you come in these podcasts and you're like, oh my gosh, I learned so much today.
I learned so much, and I want a treatment. That's what I learned, is that I want a treatment. That I got to go find a biotherapeutic
I do too,
treatment.
From head to toe.
Absolutely.
I need to wake things up for sure.
So if our listeners want to find you, I know that they can go to, it's bio-therapeutic.com, and that's where they can look and see all of your technologies, whether they're a professional or a consumer. But what about social media? How can they get to you there?
Yeah, they can get to our social media, Facebook platform, as well as our Instagram. So either one of those are fantastic and amazing to visit. We do have all of our different sites, for all the different countries. So just make sure you focus in on the U.S. one. We have distribution, of course, in over 45 different countries around the world. But yeah, there's some fantastic information there. There's some fantastic stories, and on our website, you'll find all the information that you need to move forward with your services.
Well,
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And keep innovating. Keep this research and development going, because it makes us as estheticians look really good when we incorporate devices like yours. So it has been a pleasure having you on our podcast. And as always, just continue to do what you're doing. We can hear it in your voice. We feel it through these microphones, how much you love what you do.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much, David. And thank you, everyone, for listening. So make sure that you are also following Image Skincare on all of our social media platforms as well. And subscribe to Skinfluence, and then stay tuned for our next exciting episodes. Janna, this was fun.
It was really fun. Great to see you. And thanks again, David.
Thank you for listening to Skinfluenced. If you are skincare obsessed just like us, don't forget to subscribe and rate this podcast. We also love hearing from our skincare fans, so send us your questions and comments to skinfluenced@imageskincare.com.